Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and guests. We are at the August 31st Tuesday meeting of the Rotary Club of Gainesville. We welcome you. At this time, any guests or visiting Rotarians, if you're joining us on Zoom, please identify yourself in the chat. And if you're watching on YouTube, please register your participation by sending an email to info@rotarygainesville.org. And without further ado, we're going to have a song and pledge from Pete Enwall.
Well, here we are again. There was a news report this morning that Elon Musk, the guy that runs SpaceX, had opened a restaurant on the moon. The reports were that the food was great, but there was no atmosphere. Today, Charlie Page, I hope you're listening. This is the Tuesday before the first football game, and traditionally we sing "We're the Boys of Old Florida." So you will link up with somebody next to you. We're going to sing "We're the Boys." All right, this way. No, all right, yeah, that's right. If you can link up with somebody, put your arms around them 6 feet away. You're okay. Maestro. We are the boys of old Florida, F-L-O-R-I-D-A, where the girls are the fairest, the boys are the squarest, in any old state down our way. Hey, we are all strong for old Florida, down where the old Gators play. Go Gators! In all kinds of weather, we'll all stick together for F-L-O-R-I-D-A. All right, go Gators! Woo! Would you join me in saluting our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Pete. And Kevin Thorpe, could you please lead us in our invocation at this time?
May we pray. Lord, we are grateful for this day and for this season. We thank you for every new opportunity that you have provided. We pray your covering, your protection, your restoration upon the Gulf Coast, upon our local schools, our children, our parents and administrators. We continue to pray for the rebuilding of broken down walls in Haiti. We thank you for today's program and for this organization. We are excited about the new things that we will learn about Rotary. It is for your sake and for your glory we pray. Amen.
You may be seated. Thank you very much. And Kevin, thank you for your beautiful invocations during the month of August. We really do appreciate it. At this time, any visiting Rotarians or Rotarians with guests, if you could stand. Okay, Craig.
Hey. Good afternoon, Rotarians. My name is Craig Carter, and today my guest is my former teammate at the City Commissioner, Helen Warren, and I'm honored to have her today.
Great. Welcome, Helen.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. Mike Conroy. I'd like to introduce a well-known face, Michael Pellet, who used to be a member of this group. Hopefully we'll get him back.
Welcome.
I'm Jerry Isaacs. I'd like to introduce my daughter as with me today, daughter Linda Isaacs.
Welcome.
My guest today is no stranger to the veterans of the club. It's Charlie Palmer, who's actually an honorary member of the Rotary Club of Gainesville and a long time veteran of the Wild Game Feast. I called him the logistics master. He would be out there and get everybody in shape for the feast, and he would disappear. And everybody else would carry on. Charlie Palmer.
Hello, I'm Denny Winkleman, and I'm visiting from Jacksonville, but I'm a member of the Rotary Club and to End Human Trafficking up in Minnesota at District 5950. I was here last week and made a presentation, and President Dave kindly invited me back today to hear what our new district governor has to say. So I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
Welcome. I promised her she wouldn't have to speak. I'm going to introduce this one. This is Maddie Joyner, my guest. Many of you know Miller Joyner, a member of our club for many years. Maddie is a project manager and a graduate of the University of Florida Building School of Construction. Welcome, Maddie. Thank you for being here.
Also, Melanie visiting us via Zoom from King City, California. Everyone say hello to Brett Saunders.
Hello, Brett. Welcome. All right, so now we're going to move right into announcements. TJ, you have quite a few, so we'll let you go through it.
Hi, everybody. I've got 3 announcements. This evening at 6 p.m., we're going to be doing a tour of the Alachua County Library District. I know a number of you are already signed up, but there's still space if you'd like to come. That's 6 p.m. We'll meet in the lobby of the Alachua County Library District, where some of our do-goodery money lately has gone for STEM kits and things like that, and we'll learn more about those projects. Next Wednesday, the 8th of September, we're going to return to doing the backpacks at Catholic Charities. So 9:30 a.m. at Catholic Charities on 16th Avenue and 9th Street in Northeast Gainesville. We're going to pack backpacks for the students in the schools who need those. And then the third announcement is something new. It's actually on behalf of the Rotaract Club of Gainesville. We're going to be collecting donations, both supplies and monetary donations, for Afghan refugees in Jacksonville who are being resettled. There's 200 of them who are coming to Jacksonville. I'll be sending additional information about how to give, how to get involved. If you have organizations that you're connected to who would want to assist in some way, then please connect them with me or talk to me after the meeting, because I think we could really do a lot as a community in helping those folks. Thank you.
And thank you, TJ, and thank you for all your hard work in keeping us organized on all these wonderful opportunities. Is our poet here today? Are you ready? Come on up. Come on, John. John Gregory.
As you know, this Saturday, the Florida Gators are going to start to play. This one's called Florida Rhyme. Florida's back. With that said, I'll rhyme. I'd say it was just about time. The players are set, and rain makes them wet. I guess the mud puddle is the scene of the grime. Now Jay Hill with an ACL, what a sport. He regretfully lets practice abort. He would have run on his own, but his leg hurt. That is known. To rest him, they used a joint effort. Joint. The Gators knew June was to go off like rockets. Dan Mullen told boosters one thing would unlock it. We have enough money, but there's one thing that's funny. That money, I believe, is still in your pockets. The football trainer who takes care of flaws with tape on legs, that's because he deals with friends and loves he sends. He is best known as the Wizard of Gauze. Go Gators.
Go Gators. Thank you, John. All right. At this time, it's my pleasure to turn the podium over to our president, David Gracie.
Thank you, Melanie. It's great to see everyone today. John, thank you for your poem. I'll say that John is very careful, and he's done this for all the years he's been writing poetry. He sent an email to Melanie and Eric and me and asked, do we have time with District Governor Cooper coming? Can we squeeze in a poem? And I replied, I said, John, of course. Your poetry is such a unique, important tradition of our club. However, I think that we all appreciate it at kind of various degrees of love for your poetry. But thank you, John. Thanks. Something else kind of personal for the club that I'd like to do is John Haswell here. I thought I saw him come in. There he is. It's John's birthday today. So I'd like to sing happy birthday to John. Gordon, can you give us a tune? Thanks. Yeah, John, please stand. Birthday boy. That's what you get for having it on a Tuesday. Yeah, let's give Gordon just a sec. I should have. No, Gordon's too good to let this slide. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear John. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, John. Okay, I do have one kind of point of business that I'd like to just kind of let you guys know about. Our International Disaster Relief Committee, which there's about 7 or 8 of us. I just very coincidentally happened to serve on that committee. It's a group that was assembled in 2019, kind of as a result of Hurricane Dorian. You all may remember that's the one that kind of parked over Grand Bahama and the Abacos Islands. And anyway, we decided we wanted to do something for some of our neighboring countries and clubs that are reaching out to help folks like that. So our International Disaster Relief Committee convened via email on Friday. I had a phone conversation with Mary Crane, chair of the committee. I can't see Mary. I think she's over here, or now she's seated back here. Mary and I had about a 15-minute talk about this, and we decided we would just kind of just request input from our committee members. And what we wound up with was a proposal that we fund 3 different 501c3 efforts. These are funds that were set up, and I want to tell you exactly what these are. We decided the committee proposed to the board of directors that we send $500 to our District 6970 York Foundation disaster recovery fund that was set up and just specifically to help the folks in Haiti. The District 7020 Haiti Earthquake Disaster Recovery Fund. The District 7020 is the district down in the Caribbean. So Haiti is part of that district. They obviously were kind of spearheading this. They had their own effort, and we knew we certainly wanted to support the York Fund and what they're doing, but we wanted to get money to folks that had boots on the ground there right away. And then finally, Shelter Box, which is kind of a partner of Rotary International. Rotary International has done a lot of work with Shelter Box, and kind of the area that they specialize in is helping families that are displaced due to disaster. So you lose your home, and they show up with essentially tents and these kind of things and supplies, food to help folks make it until they can figure out what they're going to do with their living situation going forward. So anyway, I just thought it was It was great that we're able to get together. We made this proposal to the board of directors. The board of directors on Friday afternoon voted unanimously to support each of these entities at $500. And we made that happen on Saturday. So, thank you, Mary Crane and the International Disaster Relief Committee. Okay, we've got a fantastic speaker today. As I mentioned last week, how I was looking forward to hearing from Coop, and I admitted to you that I haven't had a lot of personal interaction with Rich because of COVID stuff. President's-elect training was exclusively virtual online, but Coop and I had some good interactions there virtually. I certainly enjoyed that, and he's just a neat fellow. And I've got someone who knows Coop maybe a little bit better and who's interacted with him more, who is going to introduce Coop and kind of shares a authentic passion for Rotary as Coop does. So I'm going to ask Jenny Van Hart to come up here, please.
Am I allowed to touch this? I know that it flops sometimes. Yeah. Rich Cooper is a native Floridian and resides in Palm Coast with his wife, Nancy. He works for the Foundation Risk Partners in Daytona Beach, a national independent insurance intermediary. Rich and Nancy have 3 nearly grown children, almost off the payroll, right? Yeah. Alex, Christopher, and Gabriella. He was a professional firefighter and paramedic for 10 years, and then when he retired, he joined the family business, running a local insurance agency in Ormond Beach. His dad retired in 2009, and he took over operations until he sold it to Foundation Risk Partners. He's been a member of the Rotary Club of Ormond Beach from 2002 and served as president in 2012. He's pretty much worn all the Rotary hats in the district, right? Area governor or assistant governor, depending on which side of the fence you're on, sergeant at arms, CART chair, and district treasurer. He's a Paul Harris fellow, a major donor and a benefactor, and a member of the Bequest Society. Rich is also a graduate of the RLI, which eventually we'll get back to. When Rich sent out his care package for the assistant governors, it included alcohol. So he officially became my favorite district governor of all time, the best. I'm looking for a refill though. I totally went through those. Just like you'd all welcome Rich Cooper, our district governor, to our club.
Thank you, Jenny. It sounds very elegant when you say anything, really. Thank you so much. So thank you for having me today. This is an amazing venue, very original and quite possibly the most unique and interesting venue I've been to a Rotary meeting at so far. So congratulations there. Want to tell you a little bit about my Rotary story, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the district and beyond, and then a couple other things. So as you heard, I joined the Rotary Club of Ormond Beach in 2002, and I just left a career as a professional firefighter paramedic, went into the family insurance business. My father was a Rotarian. He ran the company, and he thought this would be a very good thing for you to join the Rotary Club. You get to meet a lot of people, and it'll help you with your business interactions, and it'll be good polishing for you coming out of the fire service. Great, well, I'll enjoy that. So our club meets Thursday evenings, and so initially it was it was great. A Thursday evening, it was a night out on the town, basically, for me. It was away from the kids. I had young children at home, so it was a chance for me to get out and socialize a little bit and network a little bit, and I really enjoyed that fellowship aspect of it. Eventually, I did start getting some business leads. I was in property and casualty insurance business, and I started writing some business with them, Rotarians, and getting some referrals, and I really enjoyed this aspect. But there was still something to me that was missing. My life still wasn't exactly where I wanted it to be. And, coming from the fire service, you go to work every day, you feel like you've helped somebody when you do something. In insurance and many other vocations, we help people as well, but it's not is not as exact as when perhaps you save their cat from a tree or something like that. It's it's a different experience. So I was missing that still. But then all of a sudden through our Rotary Club, we started doing some service projects, and it was little simple things like putting a fence around the Pace Center for Girls, cleaning up, rehabbing a woman's house who her house had become in disrepair and overgrown, and we went out and helped her out and just cleaned things up. It was simple things like that. I even got into some international projects, and that service aspect of Rotary is what I fell in love with. That's what made me really enjoy it. It filled that void that I had in my life, and I fell in love with it. And I went on to become club president in 2012, which gave me an opportunity to go to an international convention, which I'll talk about a little bit, but it was in Thailand that year. It was an amazing experience for me. I'd never been to that part of the world. And that's the moment I knew, I'm going to do something more with Rotary. I'm going to go on and try to do other things. So did many jobs. I did Jenny's job at one point. I was an area governor. Did a lot of other things. And at a certain point, I got the opportunity to apply to be district governor. And lo and behold, and perhaps because there was a vacuum of eligible people applying that year, I got picked to be district governor. And it's been a great job, sir. It was 2.5 years ago. So you start your training leading up to it, and there's a lot of benchmarks you have to go through and steps leading up to it to get ready. But it's a great job. It's probably next best to immediate past president, if I'm being honest. Immediate past president, as you guys know, is the best job in Rotary, but district governor is great because you get to go out and you get to meet all these people in all these different places. Now, our district it's a fairly large district. There's 8 districts in Florida. We are the largest district 6970. We are about 66 Rotary clubs right now, 20-something Rotaract clubs, and a number of Interact clubs. It's about 3,200 Rotarians. We're in 12 counties. And if you don't know the geography of it, we down to the southwest, we go all the way to Ocala in that area, Bellevue down there. And I don't know if that's really southwest. That's just in my mind. And then High Springs is all the way on the other side of 75. Then we go on the east. We go all the way to New Smyrna Beach, Edgewater area. And then we go all the way up to Amelia Island. And then across west to Baker County, McClinney. So it's a big 12-county area. A lot going on, 66 clubs. There's constantly something cool happening. Every weekend I try to get out and do something with a Rotary club around the district. So you guys need to keep that in mind. If you have something coming up on a Saturday or a weekend, give me a call. I'd love to come over, help you out. And so the job as district governor is to serve you guys. That's the thing. Rotary is a bottoms-up organization. So I've got all these clubs. I got a huge network of folks that help me out in the district. And my job essentially is to be the conduit between Rotary International and you, the club president, your board of directors, club members. You tell me the work you want to do. We find a way to make sure that you can do it. That's it. We don't have initiatives. We don't have goals for you. We're here to support you. So I've got a network. I got area governors. Jenny over here is my AG3. So 2.5 years ago, when I found out that I was going to be district governor, I had to select 12 assistant governors because there's 12 areas throughout the district. And so Jenny stepped up and said she would. Thank you so much. You've been great. And it's been a weird job. It didn't go as we planned. Things were a little bit different, but it's been a fun journey all the way. We also have, it's a 3-year job too. When you take it on, you kind of train the first couple of years, and then the 3rd year, you're actually the area governor. We have Chessie Flanders from downtown Gainesville as the AG2, which means that she helps out with foundation issues. And then we have Diane Robar from downtown, who is the AG1, and that she'll help with membership stuff. But we've got all kinds of teams throughout the district. We got membership people, public image folks, foundation folks, just about anything, district trainers, just about anything you could need as a Rotarian or Rotary Club to help you do the work you want to do. We've got somebody that's an expert in our district. And pretty much mine and Jenny's job is to make sure that you got access to that information or that person. And we try to pair it up and make sure that whatever you want to do, you're able to do it. Now, beyond our district, we're part of a zone. So zone 34 is the zone we're in. There's 34 zones in the world. Zone 34 is interesting, though. It's Florida, Georgia, all of the Caribbean, and 3 countries in South America. So it's a very diverse, including Haiti, and is in District 7020. And so they're part of it. So there's big need in our district. I mean, we think here our zone, we're local, but on the other hand, we've got all those things going on in the Caribbean, and sometimes in South America, there's turmoil and certainly a need for us to right here in our own zone help. Now, when you're in a zone, you're paired up with another zone. I don't want to get too deep into it. I'm afraid I already am. But Zone 33 is paired up with Zone 34, and they're just to the north of us, like the Mid-Atlantic area. But the reason I tell you that is because we share a zone director, Peter Kyle. Now, there's 17 zone directors in the world. And Peter Kyle is ours. He's a New Zealander, so he has a very interesting accent as well. But he's in the Washington, D.C. Rotary Club. He's a consultant now for World Bank, but he worked for World Bank for years. And most interesting thing about Peter Kyle to me is for many years, he was the international president of Outward Bound, which if you're familiar with that organization, they send kids out into the wild and then they hopefully come back and they're better people for it. So he was the president of that organization for a while. And I just think that's a neat, interesting thing to have as somebody with that experience being a director for us. So interesting guy. So beyond that, that's our zone. And I told you Rotary's a bottoms up organization. The person we report to at the top that makes sure we have everything we need is Shekhar Mehta, this year's Rotary International President. Now, Shekhar's from India, very interesting, dynamic guy, great speaker. Unfortunately, I haven't got to meet him in person yet because of all the things that have been going on, but I'm sure we'll eventually get to meet him soon. So as being Rotary International President, it's only a 1-year term. You don't have a lot of time to do all the things you want to do, but one of the best things you get to do is set the Rotary theme for the year. So if you remember last year, the Rotary theme was Rotary Opens Opportunities. Remember the doors opening, the multicolored doors? I hope everybody, all right, good. So this year, the theme is Serve to Change Lives. Serve to Change Lives, okay, it makes sense. We do a lot of, we're a service organization. We serve, and that's what I do every year is, okay, that's the Rotary theme. How does it relate to my story with Rotary? How can I explain this? What does it mean? And Serve to Change Lives, at first I thought it made sense because we're doing all this good work in our communities. We're helping people read, we're feeding people, we're going around the world and bringing fresh water to folks that wouldn't otherwise have it. We are certainly, without questions, changing their lives. All these very selfless things that we do as Rotarians, we change the lives of the people we affect. But upon further reflection, I thought about it more and more. I think, and it's my opinion, that the lives we change the most are our own while we're serving. If you think about it, as a Rotarian, I know a number of you have been a Rotarian for a number of years. Think back to the beginning of who you were when you began Rotary. Think of who you are now. It's undeniable. Your lives are changed. We're better people. It's impossible to day in and day out, or week after week at least, sit down, collaborate with great people, share ideas, collaborate on ways to help other people, to help your fellow man and woman, and not get better yourself, not become a better person. Think about the soft skills that you gain from being a Rotarian, how that you can handle project management, time management, managing your calendar, knowing to show up on time. Why? It'll cost you if you don't, right? And so over time, you learn you need to be on time. There's a responsibility and accountability. As a Rotarian, I've been able to, it's given me the ability to go walk into a room full of people I don't even know and speak to them and feel very comfortable about it. I can go into a room and network with a group of people I don't have anything in common with, know nothing about them, but I feel comfortable enough about myself from my experiences with Rotary that I feel comfortable and I can go and talk to those people. Here's one that Rotary has helped me with, and I imagine it's the same for you. You can go and sit down at a table, discuss a topic which you completely disagree with the person across the table with, but you can have that conversation in an intelligent, professional manner without aggravating or agitating or insulting the other person. Not everybody can do that, but at Rotary, that's what we do. We sit down across the table from people week after week, and we don't always agree on things, but we're friends. We love each other. We're going to disagree. We're going to talk things out, and we're going to go our separate ways and look forward to doing it all over again next week. That's what we do. It's one of the skills and the things that one of the more selfish reasons I think we serve to change lives. All right. As the Rotary International president, you also have the ability to set initiatives, things that you want to do during your Rotary year. Now, Shaker wanted to address a situation in Rotary, which was membership. So we've been 1.2 million members for many, many years now. He wants to get us to 1.3, not just for the sake of increasing the numbers, but for increasing the impact Rotary has on the world. And by having some good, dedicated, hardworking Rotarians added to our ranks, we think we can have a better impact. His initiative is each one bring one. And what he means by that is for each of us as Rotarians to bring a non-Rotarian to a Rotary event. It can be a meeting like this, like many of you have done today. It could be a club social. It could be a service project. It could be bringing a non-Rotarian to another club's Rotary event. Just expose somebody to Rotary. Somebody that's doesn't know that much about Rotary, expose them to it. We're going to be better for it because it's going to increase our brand awareness. Now, we won't convert everybody as a member in our club. That's not going to be for everybody. We got to remember when we are recruiting as Rotarians, we're recruiting for membership. We're recruiting for not just a Rotary club, but a Rotary community as well, right? Because perhaps lunch doesn't work for everybody, but I know there's breakfast and evening options on a different day of the week, a different geographic location. We got to keep things like that in mind. But so we don't get a member maybe sometime. We bring somebody, they don't join a club, they don't want to join another club. They just say they don't have time. But if they have a good enough experience, perhaps they would say, you know what, it's not for me. I've got a department manager that would be a great fit for this club, and she lives right over there, and it would be perfect on the way to work. You might get a member that way. Or if nothing else, you expose somebody to Rotary and they have a good time, they have a good experience. That's who you hit up next time when you're doing a fundraiser. Pretty certain you're going to get a sponsor. Probably much easier to get a check for $500 from somebody that has come out and worked with you and experienced things with you and knows what you're all about. And like I said, when you help one Rotary club, when you get exposed to one Rotary club, you're exposing the Rotary brand. It's not the club that people remember. And they may remember the people in the club and then a little bit about the club, but just having a good brand experience, people remember Rotary and what we're all about and the people we are. So that's the initiative, each one bring one. All right, our foundation, I want to talk a little bit about that. Now, you know, in Rotary, there's Rotary International, that's the administrative arm, that's who I work for. And there's the Rotary Foundation, that's the charitable arm, that's where the money goes. That's what does the good work in our communities. So the money that we send, a lot of us are wearing, I see are wearing hardware, different Paul Harris's and different things. This is money that we've given to the foundation. All that goes up to Rotary Foundation. It gets invested. Portion of it comes back to us here in the district, and we can do things like district grants. We can leverage that money to do work in our communities, or even global grants where we can do work globally around the world. So that's the foundation. We got a lot of options right now as Rotarians, and just as anyone, there's a lot of options to donate to. You can donate to United Way, as I do, Cancer Society, your church, a lot of things you can do. But I just ask, not that you not donate to those causes, they're all very good. Don't forget your foundation. That's the flag we fly. That allows us as Rotarians to do the good work we do. Please remember the foundation. Now, I can't talk about the foundation without bringing up polio. I want to do a little update on that. So polio, as you know, has been the biggest project as Rotarians we've taken on in the recent years. The initiative started, I believe, in the late 70s, mid 80s. So I go back to how Rotary's a bottoms-up organization. There was one Rotarian that had an idea. Gentleman, an Italian Rotarian, went to the Philippines on vacation. I'm not sure. It could have been vacation or business. I don't know, honestly. But he was there and he saw there was an issue with the polio. It was rampant there. Not in Italy. It wasn't going on like that in Italy. This is this is 1979. So in all the first world countries, United States, Italy, places like that, there wasn't a big polio issue. But in the Philippines and other places, there was still a big problem with polio. It was rampant. There was young people that were getting it at birth. There was older people that were living with the defects from it and the problems that it was spreading. So he came back. He went to back to his home club in Italy and talked to some Italians there, Italian Rotarians, and they probably were eating a meal like we had today, very similar. So they said, hey, I got an audacious idea, crazy idea. What do you think? Do you think we can eradicate polio from all of the Philippines? And the other Rotarians were like, well, possibly. This is, let's get the district involved. And they did. The district bought into it. And they said, but we've got to get some other districts involved. I think if maybe 3 or 4 of us got together, we could take on that. And so they did. They got 3 or 4 districts across from Italy. They all bought into the idea. Then they said, let's go to Rotary International and see if we can get some help. So they went to Rotary International. Rotary International decided this is a very worthwhile endeavor, but we've got to go bigger than this. They said, let's try to eradicate polio from the world. Let's take that on. Let's talk to some world partners like WHO and UNICEF, which they did. They talked to governments, the big governments, United States, Italy, places like that. And they bought in. They said, we can do this. This is mid-70s, 1987. Eventually, they got some very charitable and very wealthy folks like Bill and Melinda Gates to buy into the process. So in 1987, when this all started, when Rotary initially decided to take this on, there was about 350,000 cases a year of the wild polio virus around the world. 350,000 cases every year around the world. This year, there's been 2 cases, okay? So we've gone from 350,000 cases in 1987 a year to 2 cases this year. Last year at this time, we were well over 70 cases at this point. You see how much gain we got? You see how close we are? So in 2014, India was declared polio-free. In 2017, they had the last case of wild polio virus in the continent of Africa. And in 2020, Africa was declared polio-free. There are 2 holdouts, Pakistan and Afghanistan. 2 cases so far this year, 1 in Afghanistan, 1 in Pakistan. We're truly, and I don't know if you remember the campaign, we're this close. We're truly that close. Next year, what does it take to be considered polio-free, the world to be polio-free? We need 3 years with no cases. It seems very feasible to me that next year the clock could start ticking, which would mean if we have no cases next year, no cases the following, and no cases the following, the world could be polio-free in 2025. Very exciting time to be a Rotarian. As you guys know, Rotarians like to throw parties, all right? I can guarantee you, when we declare the world polio-free, Rotary is going to throw a party the likes this world has never seen. And I want you guys to all be a part of that. So please remember your foundation, remember Polio Plus, and remember to fly that flag and make people aware of polio. It's still important, and we're so close to getting there. All right. Now I want to talk about public image, and I bring up that polio talk there. And if you think about public image, what could be better for our public image if we get to fly that flag that we beat polio, right? Only one other time in the history of the world have we beaten a disease, eradicated it. Anybody know which one that was? Smallpox, yeah. 1980, it was finally, the world was declared smallpox free. So if we would have some serious street credibility, it would increase our brand, and it would be great for us to do that. But public image is just one of those things that I quickly wanted to talk about. It's important. You guys do a good job at shouting out your message, telling people what you do, meeting in cool public places like this. It's important. We want to see other people. We want to have other people see us doing the good work that we do and having fun as Rotarians. It increases our brand awareness, and it lets people know what we're all about. It's not a stuffy room full of old men anymore, right? It's a very vibrant, very diverse organization. And I look out here, it's a lot of fun. And it's like that. I travel all around the district. Although all the clubs are a little different, they're all the same. And we want more and more people to know about that. So please remember public image, post things out on your social media, whether it's your individual social media or the club one. Whenever you can get press releases, it's great to do that. It's just good. The more people that know about what we're doing, the better off we are. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up here real quick. Couple things coming up. You know, the Rotary Leadership Institute got pushed back. It was supposed to be this weekend or last weekend. Yeah. It got pushed back, so my apologies. It's going to be October 16th now, same venue in Palm Coast at Daytona State College. It's a great thing. If you've never been to one, I really encourage everybody to go. Anybody in here been to an RLI? I know I've seen some of your faces there. All right. It's good. It's a lot of things. To me, the best one is the first one. It's just, it takes the Rotary organization and it peels it back like an onion. And you kind of really get to dig into Rotary and find out what Rotary is all about if you're not really aware. But that's coming up. That's going to be October 16th. We're going to have a Vibrant Club seminar and awards banquet on November 6th at World Golf Villa. That's going to be some training for things like foundation, membership, public image. But then there's also going to be an awards banquet that evening for Rich Turnbull's year. He couldn't do one, obviously, because of the COVID. So he'll have his time then. I will be having a district assembly and conference in early April of 2022. And I'm going to be doing it somewhere on the west side of the district between here and Ocala somewhere. We haven't nailed down a venue yet, but I am telling you, I'm looking for the west side of our district because far too often for you folks, you got to drive all the way over to the coast usually for anything else going on in the district. So we'll try to do that over here somewhere. And then International Convention coming up next year, June 4th through the 8th in Houston. It's not going to be any closer in the next 5 years. If you've never been to one, this is a great opportunity. Now, one of the best parts about being district governor in our district is our district pays for the district governor to go to 3 international conventions and their wife to go as well, all expenses, which is amazing. So I was going to go to Honolulu in 2020, which I got to do virtually. This year, 2021, in June, I was going to go to Taipei, Taiwan. Nancy was so excited. And then, of course, we got to do that virtually, which was nice. But then I hope in June next year, I get to go with all of you to Houston, because Houston is a very cool city. Yes. No, Houston's all right. It's not Orlando. Thank you. No, it's not Orlando. Okay, so it's better. It's at least it's not Orlando. We can go to Houston and have a good time. It's close. It's affordable. And if you've never been to one, it's an amazing experience. As I said, Rotary is made up of 1.2 million Rotarians. They're from 200 different countries and territories. And it's just the best. If you took a slice of the best parts of humanity from around the world and slapped them in a convention for a few days, that's what a Rotary International Convention is. It's a great time. Thank you guys for your time today. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Jacob Atim here. My first point is appreciation. You literally hit all the point that I really appreciate. Being young, I'm young, one of them, and most importantly, it's that things they serve to change lives. And all the things you hit today from Haiti, being international, and I grew up as a refugee. And given what's going on right now, it's a perfect description of Rotary. So that's a appreciation, and hearing our club that is going to do a small help not only to Haiti, but also to the Afghans refugee. It just means so much for me and other refugees that we do make lives easier. So my question is about eradication of polio. One of the problems we have globally is a conflict, and it couldn't be any more challenging as one of the countries that you just mentioned is Afghanistan. And unfortunately, it's not looking good with humanitarian. And what happened is if the humanitarians are not on the ground, it made it difficult. That's why we are seeing emerging of this disease. So given what we have, what we know so far, the access to eradicate this is even concerning more than ever before. What do we do now that we pull out of Afghanistan, and how are we gonna really, truly eradicate if we don't have access to Afghanistan? Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you. That was a very good question, and it's going to be a little difficult to answer. I'm going to do my best in a short amount of time. I was very skeptical as well, and very concerned because of what's going on over there. I will tell you, I sat on a call this morning. Past Rotary International President Barry Rassin gave a report, and he advised that there's 30, I don't know if anybody's aware, there's 35 Rotarians in Afghanistan, total of 35. Amazing group of people that are willing to do that. And they have met with Taliban leaders. For what it's worth, they are pro eradication of polio. That is what they said, and that's what's been relayed to me. And there are talks, and there is a concern, and everybody is aware. And like there's certain universal truths, like no matter what you believe, like we all don't want children to be hungry. Hopefully we all don't want kids to die of disease. So no matter what your beliefs are, or what side you're on of anything, I hope human compassion prevails and we can see this to the end.
Thank you. I'm Deborah Newell, and I wonder if the Rotary International will add a new public health, population health focus soon, and if there's been discussion about that, and if so, would the implementation of that take place prior to the 3 years free?
Probably, yeah, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Council legislation or whatever, like the, I don't know that we're going to see anything in the very short term. We just added another, we added the environment as an area of focus recently. I don't know that they're going to add another. We have women and children's health. We have water and sanitation, things that skirt around this, but not exactly addressing that issue. So I'm sorry I can't give you a more definitive answer, but I'd love to discuss it with you afterwards. Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming today.
Absolutely.
I want to reiterate everything you just said related to the benefits of Rotary and how to get engaged and what we do in the world. And I'm so proud to be a member of this organization. And as an example of the diversity in this club and the quality of the membership, I'd like to point out this building we're now standing in was the management company. We have 2 of their members right here in the crowd. And we have some of the members of the staff of the Cave Museum here that have joined our club recently. And it was the amazing pivot during COVID, during Matthew Brady's year, and David, with his help, got us in this location. So I'm just proud to be a member.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
Coop, thank you so much for that talk. That's really it's an inspiration, and when someone like you is speaking from the heart as you do, that's inspiring for me, and I know it is for a lot of us in this room. As our speaker's gift, we have a coin here, and this something you're very familiar with, the 4-way test. And until someone tells me to stop doing this, I'm going to continue to recite it because it's so important to me. We run this by everything we think, say, or do. We ask, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And this is just for you to remember your time here. Thank you. Another great meeting today, folks. Charlie Palmer, I wanted to call you out, and it's good to see you, man. Glad you're here. I'll tell you, it's a tradition we've had is we often will read a quote And I haven't really kept with that necessarily. It's something that I'll do occasionally, but I've got a book here, Coop, that Naomi Williams gave me a few months ago. And it's Paul Harris, actually, I've come to learn he was actually a prolific writer. I haven't read any of his 4 or 5 autobiographical and Rotary books, but this is one that just has a lot of kind of excerpts from some of his addresses at Rotary International conferences. And this one, I was just kind of thumbing through it a little bit as you were speaking. I was listening, but I want to read something here. No, really, very, very applicable to what you said. And I embrace the theme the same way you do. I know a lot of us in this room do, and realize that big G word, gratitude, that, it's a unique organization that we can sit in here together and have different political, religious beliefs, but we just seem to share something elemental, something that is good. And a lot of it is in the 4-way test and just in service above self. Pardon me, I'll go ahead and read this. This is 1940 Rotary International Convention in Havana, Cuba. Paul Harris said, Rotary stands, though the tempest rage about, Rotary still stands. Why and how? Because it is grounded not on fear, rivalry, and suspicion, but on the eternal and indestructible rocks of friendliness, tolerance, and usefulness. And that's 80 years ago. And if that doesn't stand for what Rotary is and what we as individual Rotarians are, I don't know how else to encapsulate that. So thanks, everybody. Wait. Yep, thank you, Jacob and Tim. The ticket is last 3 digits, 950. Come on up and see me if you've got that ticket number. We are adjourned. See you next Tuesday.